while I connect with real people doing real shit, doing the things that they love. Today, I have newly crowned WBA super lightweight champion Gary Antuanne Russell in the house. What's up? How you doing, champ?
What's up with you, big man? Look, I'm stoked to be here, man. Look, that thing say Coach Steven Stokes. I'm stoked to be here. Just like that. Like you said, newly crowned WBA. We're gonna keep
That's
it
right.
going. Black excellence style, you heard?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Salute to you. Hey, Gary's journey in boxing has been nothing short of incredible. From representing the United States in the 2016 Summer Olympics to rising through the ranks as a dominant force in the professional boxing. He has carved his own path while uploading the legacy of the Russell boxing dynasty. Most recent, on March 1st, 2025, he claimed the WBA super lightweight title against a commanding unanimous decision victory over Jose Valenzuela at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. So without further ado, Antoine, let's give your fans a show. You ready, fam?
Always. I'm here in the flesh. If I'm here in the flesh, I'm ready.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Champion, super lightweight champion right now. Has your world changed much, man, since you became the champ?
I wouldn't say yeah to that, because first thing first, I always saw myself as a champion because I always put in championship type of work in the gym. That's where it all resonate first. First is in the gym, then you transfer it over into the ring, under the big lights. A lot of people can't make that transition. A lot of people, they get under those big lights and it's just too much for them, you know what I mean? But the way we've been raised is just completely different. So yes, yes, I'm grateful for everything that I've been through. I wouldn't take nothing back.
I love how you said that it starts in the gym. A lot of people understand. I tell my son this all the time. His name is Diesel Stokes. And I tell Diesel all the time, it starts here where you don't have a crowd. You perform right here. I don't care if you got 0 people or you got 1 person. We perform like we always going to perform. And that's what you said. You said it started in the gym and it translated over to the boxing ring. I want to touch on that because you get a lot of people that look good in the gym. They can spar, they can go 100 rounds, but then when they get underneath those bright lights, it don't transition over. Can you go ahead and elaborate on that?
I feel like I simply said, my father used to always tell us, man, don't ever get in the ring and overanalyze nothing. None of this shit is new. You've been doing it for years among years. You done made it to the pinnacle of amateur boxing. Now, the pinnacle of amateur boxing is the Olympics. I done made it to the Olympics. At that point, I done seen practically all styles, many different styles,
Yes.
from China to Jordan to Russia to Ukrainian to Uzbekistanian to American, you name it. Cuban. All of these different fighting styles, different countries got different fighting styles, and I've been with them all. And my father always made sure that I didn't magnify the level of competition based off of a person's name or where they come from, because at the end of the day, we all use the same punches: a jab, a left cross, a right hook, a left uppercut, right uppercut, and body shot on two sides, on both sides. The difference is the level of creativity. And if you really
Yes.
want to dig deep and go into what ethnicity has always brought creativity to anything that they do, it's melanated people. So don't question
Facts.
yourself, son. That's what you say. Don't question yourself, son. And I find that to be a tactic and a tool that I use to make that transition. A lot of fighters, they can't make the transition because automatically, right before they get over into that big arena, they already just like making it bigger than what it really is. They magnifying it. You know what I mean? That's why you always say, don't magnify it. Don't make it bigger than what it is. This is what you do. Same thing you do in the gym, you do wherever you go. Another terminology, an example he used to give us was a good dog gonna be a good guard dog, gonna be a good guard dog no matter where you take them. Some dogs they'll guard their yard because they know that that's home. But if you was to take your dog with you and he's your emotional support animal, you was to go to Georgia or Atlantic City or Russia and you at your pad and you just got your dog chained up, your dog should still protect you the same as it would if if it was at home. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yes. I understand. I
And that's
understand.
just how it should be. And he raised us on that type of understanding. That concept alone, it goes a long way, and this I feel like that's universal.
Got you. Got you, champ. You represented the United States in 2016 Olympics. As you say, you've seen many different styles. I have a lot of kids. Excuse me. I have a lot of boxers, a lot of athletes. I don't want to call them kids that come up to me and they said their vision is to go to the Olympics and then go to the Olympics and go to the fight to go to the pros.
The
I want to ask
pros.
you personally. Yes, I want to ask you personally. What was your experience like, and what did you take from the Olympics? That journey that has helped you transition to the professional ranks.
Just to keep it PG, you know what I mean? PG.
Yes.
It definitely had to. I definitely had to go through a change of various of things, as far as the media workout to being comfortable, being in different countries. The qualifiers, you got about 5 qualifiers. Each qualifier, you probably have 3 fights or 4 fights, and then you just got your field where I wouldn't say politics, but you got your favorites. I won my way back into the Olympics because I fought from the losers bracket. It's only been a handful of people, literally, that ever done that. Me, Gary Russell Jr., Roy Jones Jr., Floyd Mayweather, and Evander Holyfield. In history, we are the only ones that ever
Hey.
from the losers bracket. That means you lost once, and for the rest, 6 nights back to back, you had to fight. 6 days back to back. Most of the time, you fight, you get a layoff, then you fight 2 days, then you get another layoff, and then you fight the rest of the tournament. We didn't have that luxury. We fought from the losers bracket. That means that first loss that we took, the rest of the nights we had to win. We didn't have no break. We had to make weight, no eating, fight. Make weight, no eating, fight. Make weight, no eating, fight for 6 days straight. And I'm just dealing with these tactics and tools of adversity. This is something that not normally naturally happens. You got to deal with adversity when you participating in this profession. So the whole Olympic thing, it wasn't peaches and cream. Of course, during a journey, you're going to accept what comes with it because it's a journey within itself. And it's a new journey for some. For those who never went to the Olympics before, it's a new journey. So you're looking at things as if, okay, well, I guess this is how it goes. But no, for me, they had their favorites. They had their favorites. And when they got their
Right.
favorites, they're going to do more for their favorites. And those who are on a team, even though they earned their spot on the team, that doesn't mean that they're going to be getting accommodated the right way. I dealt with all of that, you know what I mean? But
Hmm.
most importantly, I focused on the main goal. And the main goal was to not just only be an Olympian, but to become a gold medalist. So whatever obstacle that was in my way, I had to tunnel vision, put my blinders on so I can get
Right.
past that. And I did. And I did all the way up to the bronze medal round. You know, for those who know. For those who don't know, the bronze medal round, I fought the Uzbekistan, and I put him down. And the referee helped them up. And I'm like, when have the referee ever helped someone up? What happened to the standard 8 or just simply? Well, you get a standard 8 for 2 reasons. Like, let's say I hit him with a low blow, and the referee saw that it was a low blow. They would give him a standard 8 just in in case he's damaged type of stuff. They would still give you a standard 8 count. That's just protocol. Low blow, standard 8 count. If you get knocked down by a punch, standard 8 count. But I put him down. I didn't hit him low. I didn't give him no illegal shot. I hit him, knocked him down. And the referee didn't give him no standard 8. He helped him up. And then, long and behold, the referee and the judges was from Uzbekistan. So they was all together, collectively, just working together. And I said, wow, against all odds, I see.
Against all
But
odds.
I still kept my blinders on, and whatever came with it just came with it. A lot of people was like, man, you dispute the decision. You can dispute the decision. You can go to AIBA boxing and dispute the decision, et cetera, et cetera. And I was just like, I want to dispute it, but at the same time, I just let it play out the way it played out. Let God take the wheel, type of thing.
Right, right. I wanna ask you this, being that we on and we talking about USA boxing, because me and a lot of my peers talk about USA boxing and how it's changed a lot. Back in my day, I was on Team USA and went to Colorado Springs as well, but it was different. I want to ask you this: what do you think about USA boxing now today? You hear a lot about we're not getting enough. We're not getting any gold medals. The last time we medal was in 2004. Got a gold medals in 2004, and that was Andre Ward. What do you think about the new USA boxing? As far as how they choosing the coaches and what's going on.
Right. I'm glad you mentioning that. I want to say back in the day, they used to allow their main coaches that was affiliated with the fighters to come out and still chaperone. Nowadays, I feel like they trying to save as much money as they could and spend as less money as they could. Because now you got to deal with
Yes,
traveling fees, housing, food. Basically, like I said, they trying to simplify things, but they
yeah,
simplifying things and they getting their fighters that became national champions and taking them out of their comfort zone fully. Like now, you got to deal with the fact that I'm listening to a coach that I never saw before. This coach don't know how I fight. He don't even know whether or not I'm southpaw or orthodox yet.
yes.
He don't know my flaws. He don't know my strengths. But yet you want me to put my full faith and belief in this coach to instruct me to victory.
Well, let me ask you this, champ, because I have been to one camp, and that was my last camp because I didn't like what was going on. But there's quite a few coaches that are at that level that have never boxed before, that have never had any experience. And I'm a firm believer. When I fought, you can't tell me shit unless you did it. If you ain't never been in that ring or you ain't never been around somebody like that, you can't tell me anything. But they're it seems like they're taking people who are yes men or who are cookie cutters and putting them in that
Yeah.
position. And you understand what I'm saying?
I understand exactly what you're saying because that was the issue when I was there. And then it came such a big issue to the point they now starting to bring in coaches that were fighting and they're making them number one fighters. And this coach from England, they got a completely different style. They got the
Yes.
textbook UK style. Fight
Yes.
long, the turning and stuff like that. They just got a completely different type of international style. And you want all of your fighters that are unique, that come from Philly, DC, Augusta, Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
This person comes from Ohio. You want all of us to fight exactly like where this guy comes from, the UK. You want us to fight like him. So he basically, the
Got it.
stuff that's been getting us to victory, you want us to just erase that and fight different. It don't work like that. If you change our identity, you're going to get different outcomes, period. Now, on a glass half empty versus half full. In other words, I'm always willing to take in good info and I'm gonna pick up what you're putting down. But if it's not good, it's not good. The chemistry isn't there. The chemistry isn't there. That's called an ace of ace and a spade of spade. We
Yeah.
need our main coaches back in here, at least looking over us, critiquing us. And when they're done, then we can come to you and we can do the bag drills and we can do the workout and the stretches that you need us to do. So we can collectively collaborate and we can get the job
That
done.
100%. And we need our own in there. Nothing against the head coach, but he's not American. He's not from this country, and we need people like you said that knows how to relate to a young black man that might come from Southeast DC, or who might come from Capitol Heights, or who may come from Compton, or who may come from New York City. We need those type of coaches. Yeah,
Exactly,
yeah,
exactly. That's
yeah.
like taking you for you had not a broken family. You got your mom, you got your dad, and you got siblings. But yet they want to take you and put you in a foster home. It don't work like that.
Mm,
You know what I
mm.
mean? That's basically what they doing.
Yeah, yeah,
And expecting the same results. What's been giving you your results is you being in a close-knit family. You got your mom, your dad, your siblings, and every family got their little ups and downs. But you've been dealing with it because that's your comfort zone.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
But
I feel
champ,
like that's
hey,
the change that they made, though. That's the change that they made currently.
hey, I want to ask you. I studied fight you against Valenzuela, and this is what
Ooh,
I
let's get
saw.
into it.
Let's
Let's
get
dig
into it.
into it.
Let's dig into it. First and foremost, I know you wanted to get back because you know how he was kind of trying to shade you when he was saying like he didn't see anything special about you. And when I heard that, I was saying to myself like, do he know who he fighting? Why he
Right.
gonna add fuel to the fire like that? So when I was watching the fight, me and my son, we do fight reviews, and my wife as well. I noticed I love how you stayed in the pocket, but most importantly, you stayed active, brother. You stayed active. And I tell my son that all the time. When you get on somebody, you get on them and you stay on them. You don't let them breathe, and you wear them down. I like how you did that. I like how you start and you finish, meaning you initiated movement, but then you're gonna finish the combination. So you're gonna start it, but you're gonna get the last lick. I love that. And I told my son, when you do this, man, when you initiate, get off first, but you end last. So you start the combination, but you want to end the combination. You did that throughout the entire fight. You wore his ass down. He didn't know what to do, man. It got to a point when it came the seventh, eighth, ninth round, you was hitting him with them bombs. You could see the frazzlement on his face. He didn't know what to do. Love the combinations. Defensively sound, was definitely on point. And man, the constant pressure broke his ass down. He didn't know what to do. And I noticed that Robert Garcia said that they had a great camp, and it just didn't come through. No, it didn't come through because the man that he was fighting wasn't gonna allow that shit to happen. Excuse my
Damn,
language.
you
He was
damn
not
right.
gonna let it
You
happen.
damn right. And
How did that?
it's funny because sorry to cut you off. It's funny because it made me think of the Alberto Poyo fight. Now the Alberto Poyo fight, it was going to be the same outcome. But I deviated a little bit because we had a post press conference and some of the people opinions that mattered to me, they were saying that I'm one dimensional and I fight like Sean Porter. No disrespect to Sean Porter, but Sean Porter, he just throw his helmet on and football shoulder pads and he just come in, charging.
Mm-hmm.
I said, no, I got more skills than him. I'm
Right.
more
Right.
controlled than he is. Now, when I fought Rayo Venezuela, you would see that I'm not just waltzing in. I'm not just bogarting in. No, I kept him at bay. I was right in his face. When I had to back up, I backed up to lure him in. When he backed up, I inched forward to make sure that I didn't give him enough range. Because if you know, Ryo, he do got puncher pop. He got puncher power. Like he got that pop that's going to get you up out of there or even hurt you
Yes.
enough ways though he can hop on you and in the fight. Now he had some pop. He had ample enough hand speed and enough pop from round 1 to 12 to get anybody's attention. And I didn't want to just get lackadaisy or lose respect for him to the point I get careless.
Yes.
And allow myself to get caught with one of these shots. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. So I
No.
definitely made sure that I brought a different attitude and versatility. I had to bring some more tools out my bag, because I feel like Ryo, he said that he don't see nothing special with me because of that Alberto Pollo fight. Now, the Alberto Pollo fight, from round 1 to 6, I was on him. Like white on rice, I was on him. And I was breaking them. I was folding them, touching them downstairs, hurting them, had them on the ropes. And I felt personally that I put enough rounds in the bank to say, okay, from here on out, I can kind of like coast and just make it an interesting fight. Get a crowd their money's worth. It's still gonna be a ping pong effect. We're gonna be going back and forth, but I'm gonna always get the better of the round. And having that mentality somewhat deep was a deviation.
Right.
You better be better. If you better be better, get them up out of there. Down pay you for overtime.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No, yeah, you are a certified throwback fighter, brother. You are, because you can box punch, you have lateral movement, you can go forward, you can go backwards, you punch going forward, you punch going backwards. I loved your jab because I am an advocate of the jab. Anybody that works with me will let you know the jab is key. The jab is key. And your jab was sticking him. Everything was set up off that jab, man. And then also your body work, man. You was going to his body and finishing to the head. Or you go to the head and finish to the body. You was touching them. And everything I tell my son, he witnessed, and he was like, Dad. I said, I told you. This man is doing it. Brother, I just want to salute you and tell you, man, keep doing what you're doing, because sky's the limits for you. Let's talk about Coach Kelvin Moore. Okay. Coach Kelvin Moore, this is how I met him. This had to be probably about when my son probably was like 4 or 5, when he was really looking to get into boxing. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna be real with you, bro. I didn't want my son boxing. Not because I didn't want him to get hurt or anything like that, but it's like, if he wanted to box, I want him to show me. I want him to be like, Dad, this is something I wanted to do. So I was training different fighters, pros and amateurs, and he would come up to the ring and he would just look on the outside, but he didn't step in. So one day my wife said, Diesel wants to get in the ring and he wants to hit pads. Nah, I'm not gonna do it. A week passed, and then he came up and he was crying. He literally wanted to do it. He has little gloves on. I said, you really want to do this? He said, yeah. I said, if you want to do this, then you got to want to do it, because I'm not going to make you do this. This is something that I can't get in there and fight for you. Your mama can't do it. Your sister can't do it. And ever since then, bro, he's won 3 national championships. He's been followed. I mean, Coach Kevin Moore follows him. So Coach Kevin Moore has been following my son for so long that he gifted him some gloves from you and your brothers, bro. And I just want to tell you, man, like when he did that, bro, hey, right here, fam.
Yeah.
You see that? You remember that?
Yeah, I do. Like yesterday,
Yeah. It's crazy, man, because my son loves boxing, man, but he loves boxers that look like him. You understand what I'm saying? He loves boxers that look like him, man. And matter of fact, here you go right here. Come here. Sit down. Put these on.
What's up, Gary?
What's up with you, champion?
What's up?
What's up? We here live. We live in the flesh.
Yep.
We just talk about you, man. And your father was saying that you got introduced into the sport, and honestly, it just stuck with you to the point you really wanted to do it. And what I was going to tell him was that nobody can't want it more than you. They can't want it more for you. You gotta want it too. So it's good that you already had that hunger for the sport itself. You know what I mean? I want you to keep that hunger. I want you to keep that fire, because it's gonna be a lot of turns and changes that you're gonna have to make. And the only thing that's gonna keep it all together, for real, is the level of fire that you got in you. The level of hunger, that want that you got in you.
Yes.
Like right now, they want me to do not a documentary, but borderline like a documentary on me, my personal life, and How is it that I got the fire in me that I have in me when it comes fight time? And
Yes.
honestly, it's backed off of my neighborhood, my family, and the love I have for the sport itself.
Yeah.
And I got one more notch on my shoulder because two more. I took my first loss that I don't really believe that I lost, but whatever. You got to crack a few eggs to make an omelet. I looked at it as a lesson.
Yes.
On top of that, my father passed away, and we've been doing this together for so long. Just been my father and the rest of my brothers. We've been doing this
Yes.
for so long together to the point now that he's gone, I don't want none of his hard work and all of the years that we put in together to go to waste.
Yes. Yeah.
That's where I really draw my fire from. I always draw my fire from my brothers and people that go through struggle, that look like
Struggle.
me. Majority, I'm a fair being. So those who get the short end of the stick dealing with a lot of life situations, I feel for them wholeheartedly. And I want to make sure that I'm in a position where so I can even help out, give some advice to get them in a better position or to fuel them
Yeah.
to want
Fuel
to
'em.
do better for themselves. So if you really want this, I'm telling you, you can do it. I feel like naturally you got the ability to do it anyway. You just got to critique yourself to be a little more better.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Physically, I'm pretty sure the acrobats within you is
Yeah.
so natural and out of this world. You don't even got to think about it.
Yeah.
But the mental part is what you train to train your mental.
Thank you. Thank you. I got a couple I got a question for you.
Go ahead and ask them. I'm right here for you. We all here.
Your goal is to go to 2032 Olympics. What advice does it have for you?
What advice do you got? What advice do you have for me for because my goal is to fight in the 2032 Olympics. So like what advice do you have for me?
Be prepared for many different fighting styles. Know how to adjust.
Adjust.
And that don't mean change how you fight. When I say adjust, I'm talking about like a game plan. Let's say you go in there and you got a game plan for the fighter that you're about to go up against. Let's say you've seen him in nationals before. You fought him in the nationals before, so you know how he fight. You kind of like familiarized with how he fight. Well, let's
Yes.
say this time you fighting him again for a second time, but this time he gonna fight you different.
Yeah, he gonna
So
switch it up.
right. He gonna fight you different. So now that you going in there with the mindset on, okay, I know how he fight. I fought him before, and he completely changed how he fight you. You now got to make the adjustments on his change. I wouldn't. It's bad for you to just like start to sink mentally. A lot of times that's when fights is really lost. The fight is
Yeah.
lost mentally
Yeah.
before physical. So deal with the whole change. Deal with you making change, adjustment making. You gotta
Adjustment making.
adjustment making. Have full belief in your craft. Because there's been times I've been in the gym and I felt the sharpest. And I got in the ring with somebody, I still did good. If it was a
Yeah.
fight, I would have won.
Yeah.
But I got hit a little bit more than usual. That's because they made adjustments.
Adjustment. Yes.
They made the adjustments. And because of that, it made me think like, dang, am I getting like out of shape? I'm not out of shape. I just went a full 12 rounds.
Yeah.
So it's not a thing of you being out of shape. It's more so your level of adjustment making and you not feeling like you're less than what you was
That's sent down was.
because the outcome isn't the same. Just because the outcome wasn't the same as the first outcome doesn't mean that you lost your talent. You know what I mean? So don't be distinguished. Don't be discouraged because you're not
Yes, sir.
getting the exact same outcome.
Yes.
Make the adjustments and honestly believe in what you got. Because ultimately, to sum all of this up, is what you got versus what they got. And who believe in themselves more.
More mental.
Right. The adjustment making is just the little tweaks that you gotta deal with. That's just something that comes with our sport, our profession.
Yes.
You got to deal with adjustment making. But ultimately, it's what I got versus what you got. And who believe in it more? Who believe in itself more?
Blame
So have
myself.
more belief in yourself.
Was that a question?
Man, that's it.
Oh, okay.
That's it.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the advice. I'm a fan too.
One more thing, I want to congratulate you on the little achievements that you done made too. I heard you done won some tournaments.
Yes.
Yeah, so keep it going. Cause
Yeah.
before you know it, I'm gonna be looking at you. I'm like, yeah, nah, we did an
Yeah.
interview yeah, on this interview, and this kid is great talent,
Yes.
champion in the making. I guarantee
Yes.
you, y'all see him in the future. That type of thing.
Nah, yes. Yeah. I'm getting ready for the JOs.
Look, eat it up,
Yes.
eat it up. All of this right now is practicing and preparing you for the pros, the Olympics, and stuff like that. So
Yes.
take advantage of this moment right now. Because even when you lose, don't look at it as a loss. Look at it as a lesson.
Lesson.
These are all of the things that you can add into your repertoire, add into your arsenal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So look at it that way versus, oh man, I lost. Now you feeling discouraged, like, man, I don't think I'm as good as I thought I was. It's a lot that I gotta learn. Nah, you
Yes.
good. What you been doing got you to the JOs.
Yes.
You just gotta do a little bit more critique and make some adjustments.
Adjustments.
That's it. That's it.
Thank you.
You got it, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good.
Yep.
All right. Can you hear me, chat?
I can hear you loud and clear. You
Hey,
gotta act
brother.
it, man.
Hey, I appreciate you for doing that, man. The reason why I do this podcast isn't for views, is for ratings. I mean, but if I get them, that's cool, man. But the reason why I did this was because I said, you know what, I need to be involved in my son's life. And coming from, a single parent household, being raised by my grandmother, because I'm a product of a young mom. My mom had me at 15 years old, so my grandmother raised me. But I say that to say this, man, if I'm going to go ahead and do this and endure this process with him, I want to do it like your dad did, man, and I want to be involved. So the reason why I do these podcasts is a reference point for him, bro, so that he can go back and look where it's like, man, my dad interviewed, world champ, Gary Russell, Gary Antuanne Russell, or he taught this person, he taught that person, and I bring him in because it's a process. It's just not all about getting punched in the face or punching somebody in the face. It's the process of him meeting you because, as you know, man, if you're around champions, after a while you're gonna feel like you're a champion, and
That's
then
right.
that's gonna and those things are gonna matriculate upon you, man. So I just want to tell you, thank you, brother, from the bottom of my heart. That means a lot to me, man, because I can't get him out of the gym, man. There's been times where I just been like, hey, chill out. You ain't gotta do this anymore. He's like, nah, dad, I want to fight. I want to fight. Okay, then. So I know he's real. He a real dog, man. And I hope that you can see him one day next time we up around DC area. Cause my sister and my brother live there. Maybe we can touch down and we can come to your gym and you can see him train and you can give him some pointers, man. You can talk to him.
Well, man, I definitely will if we wind up being in the same presence.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But getting back to Coach Calvin, man, I talked to him, and make a long story short, it wasn't that he was the band man that drew me to Coach Calvin. It was that he was a Marine, and I'm a Marine, man, and I retired from the Marine Corps, and we have a code, man, where it's like if you a Marine, man, like you tight. So him getting in with you guys are exactly the same way. Your family is, what I'm saying. You hear the stories where it's like the Russells don't play, they don't allow just anybody to come in their camp, and for him to be with you guys for as long as he is, I know he's certified. I know he's official. I want to ask you this, champ: how has having Coach Kevin around contributed to you guys when it comes to your conditioning?
Everybody got their lane. Calvin, he ain't no fighter. I'm pretty sure he'll protect this. He'll protect himself. But as far as getting in there and doing all of the physical stuff that the boxers got to do, as far as put the headgear, lace up, put the gloves, that's not his lane. He know how to stay in his lane. He's a strength and conditioning coach. When he came around, he just was as genuine as he always appeared to be.
Yes.
He wanted to help out. He just wanted to help out. And us, the Russell family, just being a open door policy type of gym, we always try to live by the whole saying, don't ever disrespect respect. Calvin, he came on a respectful tip, and we respected that. We opened the door for him, and we said, "Yeah, you do this, cool. We don't mind. Let's see what you're working with." He showed us his little portfolio. He had a broad list of many different things, honestly, that we didn't care about. We just cared about the fact that he carried himself a certain way, and he wanted to help out. And we was just there to give him a helping hand. We was just there to say, "Okay, come on in." So we took him in, and he do great work. He do great work. He know his stuff. The lane that he's in, he definitely critiqued it and perfected it to the point. The results that he gets, he know exactly what points and parts of the body and tissues to pinpoint, to identify when it's a problem there, to identify when not to work certain areas. Of course, closed mouths don't get fed. You got to let them know. But once you let him know, he know exactly what to do to counteract these things within your body, to make your body work on a championship level.
Yes.
So I'm honestly grateful and happy that we did bring him in because he know his stuff.
Yeah.
I don't feel like he goes waltzing around just saying, "Oh yeah, I'm the best to do this. I'm the best to do that. Can't nobody do it better than me." He's not that flamboyant type of guy. He's not, and I like how humble he is. But at the end of the day, his work then helped us out a lot. We was always on a mentality like my father raised us on. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Mm-hmm.
What we've been doing without Calvin has been working to where we are. Got me to the Olympics and etc. And with him being an addition, a new addition, did nothing but help us go further. And like I said before, I'm grateful for that. I'm so grateful. He know what he doing. I done seen him break fighters, break football players down, and etc.
Hey, them damn bands ain't no joke, man.
Man, nah, they not. It's been times my legs been feeling like those rubber bands. I'm telling you, I can't stand up. The drive within me just wouldn't allow myself to not push through it. I would
Yeah.
ruin myself before I quit. I was like, man, I ain't quit. You're like, come on, man. I love it about you, but you gotta stop, man. You gotta control this. I'm like, all right, all right. I
No,
give
no,
it
no.
myself, man.
No, yeah, definitely when the camera's rolling too, you can't go out like that. You cannot go out like that. I feel what you're saying, bro.
Forget the cameras. Forget the cameras. It don't got nothing to do with the cameras. It's integrity and my pride. Like I don't let some rubber
Yeah.
bands do me like this. Nah,
Yeah, for real.
we
For
ain't
real.
doing
For real.
that. We ain't doing that.
Hey, I want to touch up. Your family is deeply rooted in the sport of boxing, man. You guys are boxing. You're revered in the sport of boxing. So you have your brothers that you were raised around, and you're the baby that box, correct? You're the youngest.
I'm not the youngest of the family, but I'm the last one that's gonna be competing.
Got you. Okay. So I always tell my wife this. I said, if we had another child, they always say the baby always ends up being the best out of the bunch. Would you say that's true? Out of you and your brothers, would you say that you are the best?
If certain things are implemented the right way,
Uh-huh.
like just like any teaching, you could tell son how to go to the bathroom. You can tell your son which silverware and what. You can tell your son what clothes, how to put them on. The difference that sets you apart from many other parents or other fathers is how you deliver it.
That's right.
How you deliver these. You got some teachings that's just like force. like a dictatorship. And you got some that just come across as just like effortless. It's fun. So the child eats it up a little bit more.
Yes.
Consume it better. You know what I mean? So
I got you.
in that case, the way the team is implemented and implied, I feel like, yeah, the youngest should be the best because that's what a dynasty is. All of the information is passed down, and the next child pass that information down with a little more information next time. And once it reaches the youngest, it should be abundance of information, not just from the second to last, but from all of the other generations. You know
Great
what I mean?
answer.
The
Great
other
answer.
from the rest of the siblings.
Yes. Great answer. What fighters out there in your division right now do you feel like can bring the best out of Gary Antuanne Russell that you would like to match up with in the ring?
That's a trick question. Cause honestly, not even being biased, I personally feel like my oldest brother, Gary Russell Jr., Mr. Gary Russell, he got the tools. He got the tools. He got the stuff.
Yes.
You know, and I really don't compare any fighter to him as far as like, oh man, he's better. Because me and my
Uh,
brother, we sparred. Now I done sparred against professionals that's been in the game for a long time. I'm talking about in the game since Deontay Wilder was an Olympian. I've been sparring professionals since then. That's 2008. So since 2008, I've been sparring professional fighters, pro circuit fighters, and getting the understanding on how things work and stuff like that. And based of all of my years of dealing with it, I don't think there's no fighter that's gonna bring something new to the table that I haven't seen before. Now everybody bring a different package, yeah, and there's certain tools for certain jobs. But when it comes to Gary Russell Jr., Mr. Gary Russell, I feel like he got that next level stuff that I haven't seen in nobody. I don't think nobody can bring anything to the table that my oldest brother wouldn't be able to bring to the table. If he had to show me something like, all right, bro, I want to show you this because this is what you lacking at. And
yes.
me would do some sparring rounds, and he would show. He would
I would
show me.
I would love to see him fight Lamont Roach in DC.
My brother,
Yep. That would be crazy. That would be bananas, man. That would be bananas for real. It would be hard as hell to get up out of there.
hey, hey, it would. It'll be. I can guarantee you this. It'll be a clinic put on.
Mm,
It will put on a clinic. I guarantee you. And honestly, right now, he hasn't been thinking about boxing because he got his focusness on me and my other older brother, Gary Antonio Russell.
yes.
You know,
Shout, sh-
like I said,
shout out to Antonio. Shout out to Antonio.
most definitely salute. He been in the game as long as I've been in the game. You know, everybody is playing their part. When I win, we all win. Gary
No
Russell,
doubt.
Mr. Gary Russell win, we all win. It goes the same for all of us. You know, when any of us win, we all win. And that's just how we look at it. You know, we just try to keep this cycle going, keep the success going, and pouring into each other because eventually, like you said, the information will get trickled down. It will trickle down to each and every last one of us. And we just try to magnify that.
Uh, hey, champ, I only got a couple more questions because I know your time is valuable and I appreciate it. So I wanna ask you two more questions. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? And do you have ambitions of moving up to higher weight classes and eventually unifying the belts?
Honestly, I want to do that right away. I want Alberto
Got you.
Pollo. I want a unification with
Alberto
Alberto
Puello.
Pollo because my pride will not let me let him out of my sight. That fight was fugazi. The decision was fugazi to me. I told him personally, I said, I don't care if you lose and I'm undisputed with all of the titles. I still want to see you. I don't care if you don't got no titles. I still want to see you. We got to
Yeah.
run that back. We
Yeah.
have to run that back. To answer your question, in 5 years, I see myself being undisputed. Would I use my will to go up in weight or to go down in weight? Of course, if it makes sense, because not only do I honor the art of the craft, but I love the sport itself. I love the occupation itself, and I want to give the fans what they deserve. You got fans coming from all over, many different facets of life. They're just interested in our performances, and they pay. They pay. And one thing I don't like is paying for something that don't work right. I really can't
Right.
enjoy. Like, come on, y'all paying y'all money, cool. We're gonna give you a show. That's why I conduct myself the way I conduct myself when I perform. I want to give y'all a show. I feel like my style is action packed enough, and I got enough showmanship to make people say, "Ooh, nah."
Yeah, you're far from you're nowhere. That the B word, I'm not going to use it, but the B word, as you know, is nowhere on your resume. Nowhere. It hasn't even been that way when you was an amateur. So they're gonna tell you you're gonna put asses in the seats.
There we
You
go.
definitely gonna do that. Hey, my
There
final
we go.
question for you is this: for all the fans out there, what message do you have for them as you enter this new chapter of your career, brother?
Ooh, it's going to continue to be juicy. It's going to continue to be juicy. I guarantee. Keep supporting me. If there's some betters out there, bet on me. Put the money down so I can make y'all some money, get y'all some extra dollars in y'all pocket. You know, if it's any sponsors, if it's any social media type of influencers, reach
Mhm.
out to me on social media. I got a fan page, Gary Russell. Uh, Gary Russell with 5 L's, and then I got another one that's Gary A. Russell. The Gary A. Russell one with the blue check, that's my fan page. My personal is Gary Russell with 5 L's. Follow me, reach out to me. I don't mind giving y'all some of my time because I feel like giving back is something that's a necessity, is needed. It is very much needed. You got access to me personally now. You know, um, Togetherness is key, especially going in the right direction. So if we all going in the right direction and we're together, can nothing stop us, y'all.
Mm.
So continue to support and stay tuned to my career, because it's, like I said, it's definitely gonna be juicy.
You heard that, ladies and gentlemen. It's gonna be juicy, and he's coming. So I just want to thank, the newly crowned WBA super lightweight world champion Gary Antuanne Russell for stopping by Coach Stokes' live, and then also just blessing me, brother, man, because a lot of times, man, I just want to tell you this, man. Thank you for being a great mentor to young black men like my son, because a lot of times they only see the negativity when it comes to us. That's that, and I hate to say it, man. They don't report all the good things; they report the negative stuff. So I want to tell you, thank you, brother. I'm looking forward to seeing you, meeting you in person, man, shaking your hand and telling you thank you in your eyes, man, because your dad did a damn good job with all you guys, man. So everybody, please go on here, subscribe, comment, flood this brother's Instagram accounts, man. Give him love, man, because he's coming and he's there to put on a show for you. When you watch him on TV, he's not gonna be lackluster. He's gonna show you everything he has. So I thank you for your time, brother. And until next time, one love. I'm Coach Stokes. This is Gary Antuanne Russell. See you when I see you. Peace.
Yes, sir. Peace.
All right, hold on, champ. Champ, you